Welcome back to Some Offense Intended. I'm Jeremy Robinson,
I'm Mike Mick.
and we just recorded an episode yesterday, and we're getting one ahead because I'm going to Vegas again this weekend so that Mercedes can replace my windshield.
Yes. Well, they could have done it last time, and then you gotta...
Yeah, or just paid somebody up here to fucking do it.
Yeah, you'd
Like,
think somebody up here would be able to do it.
I'm going to be really mad if I get down there and they have safe... I didn't know we can hear that fan.
Yeah, we can hear it a little bit.
Can you shut the door? I can hear it 100% in mine. But yeah, so if I get down to Vegas and they have Safe Flight or some random fucking company replacing my windshield, I'm gonna be really mad.
Oh, I would be too.
Then I'm gonna talk to whoever manager that I need to have them pay for. I think I can still hear it in my microphone, unless I'm just hearing shit.
I don't really hear it in mine at all. I could go turn it off.
Please. Sorry, this room is very hot today, so I tried to have a fan in the doorway, and it's coming across when my mic's keyed on. Just hit the middle button twice. Yeah. Okay. Yep, that was it. Jesus Christ. My microphone will pick up fucking anything. Except for me if I'm sitting 2 feet away.
Say that.
But yeah, so if they have somebody like Safe Flight or Joe Bob's fucking windshields replace my windshield, I'm going to talk to whichever fucking manager I need to get them to cover gas money on the way down and an oil change, like a full... Did I talk about this yesterday?
Yeah, we're not in here, but you told me.
Okay, yeah, because it's like fucking... Like, I tried to talk to him, like, you can just have the Mercedes up in Reno do it. You can have Safe Flight do it. Like, you can pay for somebody up there to do it, so I don't have to fucking come back down. They're like,
you
no.
have to think somewhere in the Reno Sparks area that somebody would know how to change a windshield.
Yeah, but they're like, no, that's when they were like, no, it has to be a Fletcher Jones dealership. And there aren't
Yeah, there's
any
no
up here.
Fletcher up here, yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
There are a lot of them, but not around here.
Yeah, I'm like, all right. So if it ends up being Mercedes that does it, okay, cool. Because I'm getting my car tinted the next day.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had tint on my car this whole fucking time.
Yeah.
So I'm getting tint all the way around, ceramic. So it's going to be really fucking nice finally.
Yeah.
So windshield on Monday, tint on Tuesday, and I'm coming back Wednesday.
So you already have your appointment for tint?
Yeah. Yep, a buddy of mine that I actually almost started a shop with before I moved up here to Reno. It was me, John, and this guy named Chase. And we were actually looking at real estate. Like, we were already looking at where to have the shop.
Yeah.
And I think two or three of the ones that we were like, this is a good one. Like, we want this one. Start talking to him about it, and the shop fell through. Like, the location fell through.
That sucks.
I'm like, okay, so we go to this one. I'm like, that fell through. Go to this one, that fell through. And I'm like, we're not doing it then. Because if three in a row fell through, like, we shouldn't fucking do it.
3 strikes, you're out.
And then Chase, I think, moved to Florida to do a couple of car things and whatever. Me and John moved up here. And John moved back to Vegas. Chase moved back to Vegas, so Chase is doing 10 now.
Nice.
So, should be great. I don't have... Because I have quite a few friends that do fucking tint, but none of them stand out. So, and it's the first time. I think he started like a year and a half ago. So like, fuck it. I'll start. See how he does and just fucking slam him with business.
When I was selling cars, we had somebody come in like once or twice a week and do tint there.
I looked at a couple of mobile tint places up here, and they were telling me pretty much all the same thing, like $350 for all the way around. Not the windshield, for ceramic. So the price I got from Chase is a little better, and it includes the windshield for ceramic.
Nice.
Because you can have everything done. The windshield's a big window.
Yes, it is.
A lot of heat in.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
A lot of heat.
To block the heat out of that.
Yeah.
My Windows got what it came with. That's all. I didn't get it done or anything.
So 2 of the cars that I have right now, I think are the only... my Mazda might have, when I first got it, didn't have tint. But almost every other car I've had tint on it. The Mercedes and the Passat wagon both don't have tint. Which is fucking wild for Cali or Nevada.
Yeah.
And that's where they've all been.
I actually had a car in Vegas. I had one of my Volkswagens, didn't have any tint on it at all. But I also parked in garages all the time.
I was going to say, how was that?
I parked at a garage at home. I parked at a garage at work. The only time I didn't park in a garage is if I went to like a grocery store
I
or
was
something.
just gonna say grocery store. I need to go to Winco after this. After I finish fixing that car, because I need a bunch of vegetables to make food with.
Yeah. Don't you mean feed food?
I mean, yeah.
Because vegetables are what food eat.
Yeah, that's what makes the steaks I cook it with. It makes the steaks bigger when you cook it with vegetables.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of cooking though, I did see a story a couple weeks ago that McDonald's on the East Coast apparently they don't like labor laws or having to pay people.
What?
Because there were multiple locations, like there was like 300 kids working at these McDonald's until like 2:30 in the morning. And when I say kids, I'm talking 10-year-olds.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I read this news story on something, and they didn't even pay the kids.
Not even like paying them an ice cream?
I don't. They might have fed them a Happy Meal or something, but yeah, had these kids up until 2:30 in the morning working at McDonald's. There was in Ohio, Kentucky. There were all sorts of different ones. I don't remember all the states, but
so there was hundreds total of these children working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Was there like there's 50 at this one? Like, did they have?
like it was spread over throughout. It was.
So they didn't have like 15 in this one.
I don't know how many per store, but yeah, they had some 10-year-olds all up and down. So yeah, there's some people mad at McDonald's about that one.
That's wild.
Yeah, they were there till 2 a.m.
So I understand from a business perspective of cheaper labor, more profit.
Yeah.
That's where that ends. Because like I've said often, being a human, doing whatever, just boils down to don't be a piece of shit.
So it makes me wonder, where are these 10-year-olds coming from? Like,
that's pretty far over the line.
What parents? Like, yeah, go ahead, work at McDonald's tonight. I'll pick you up at 2.
I'm going to blow your mind with this answer. Foster homes.
I was going to say maybe
a lot of fucking foster parents do it just because they get they get a check from the government.
Oh yeah.
They don't give a fuck about the kids. They often like beat the kids. Like, I'm not talking about all of them. I'm sure there's great fucking foster families out there. Don't hear that any different than that. But the horror stories, just like reviews, are more likely to be bad because people that are pissed off talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, the people who are happy don't usually have a lot to say.
Yeah. So there's like, keep them locked in their fucking rooms. Like, if they're not at school, like lock them in their rooms, like feed them like once or twice a day. That's it. Of like fucked up foster family stuff.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't doubt that it's something like that of like, hey, look, I've got 5 kids that and the fucking manager might have been, or the owner might have been paying the foster parents.
Yeah, that's always a possibility.
And not the fucking kids because, oh, well, they got a Happy Meal, so they weren't terrible about it. Like every 30 minutes you can go play in the ball pit for 5 minutes or like some shit.
Yeah.
But like, that's insane.
Yeah, I was kind of blown away by it. I also thought maybe some of them are like the kids of like managers or like the general manager.
Well, see, but that would be a little different.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Or they just,
because like family-owned businesses, that's allowed. Like, your children are allowed to work in the business.
Yeah.
Like, I think you still pay them, or there's a couple exceptions there. But
maybe they just grabbed some kid off the street and said, listen,
it's not going to be fucking hundreds.
You stock our freezer, and I'll give you a McFlurry.
Yeah.
That's kind of a dick move to have somebody working in a freezer.
Yeah, especially when you know the fucking machine's broken.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You can't have one of the machines broken.
I forgot.
Work tomorrow.
We'll get broken.
We'll get you one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Come in tomorrow.
Unless you want to stay till 5 a.m. and fix it.
Yeah. We got tools in back.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
Yeah, I was...
A bunch of 10-year-olds running a fucking McDonald's.
Yeah.
How long does it say?
And it took a while for them to find it. Like I said, it's in multiple states.
How long's a while? Because if I go into a McDonald's and there's a fucking 5-year-old taking my order, I'm calling somebody.
I think they probably had him in back. Cooking or whatever.
They can't see over the fucking counter.
They got him a step stool. I don't know how they did it. I don't have 10-year-olds cooking burgers and selling them for me, That's why I was saying, they could stock the freezers, they could clean. But they're there till 2 a.m., so they got to be doing...
Have you ever seen a kid try to clean a bathroom? They're not going to fucking clean.
No. Maybe they're working the drive-through.
Like one of my sisters,
They're just taking the order and somebody else is handing the food
before
off.
she learned like how to clean stuff properly.
Yeah.
It was fucking hilarious. I think it was either the plunger or the toilet brush. I think it was the plunger. She thought that cleaned stuff, so she was like waving it around the bathroom.
Wow.
Like there was no water in the plunger; it wasn't just used. But I'm like, that's not what cleans stuff. And then show her how to clean stuff. But yeah, I was like, that's adorable and hilarious.
I see. Now, when I would, well, they probably taught them how to clean it, or like the windows.
Just give them the sponge socks.
Maybe they're doing the books. Maybe they got them back there doing the numbers.
Using Big Bird abacuses to fucking do the day's totals.
We had this many sales. I mean,
I saw this many French fries go out, and I ate this many. Put them back.
But yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to have them doing inventory or shit like that.
You wouldn't want to have them doing anything, Mike. They're 10.
I agree. I mean, you'd think it'd be dangerous to be using the fryers.
No, I was expecting like something like that's how they found out was they had like 4 kids taken to the ER for reaching into the fucking fryer to try to get some French fries.
I was hungry.
8th degree burns, fucking pull out nothing but skeleton. Jesus Christ.
That's how we learn.
That's how some people learn.
Yeah, unfortunately. The other thing I wanted to mention, there was a while back they had this thing about another thing involving food. It was actually a hoax. It wasn't even real. People weren't really doing it, but it was cooking chicken with Nyquil.
Oh, I think I saw like a quick snapshot.
Like somebody done like a TikTok video years ago, and it was
because it was like dyed blue or green or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, well, they have a blue Nyquil, but it was done as a joke. And then these news stories that came out telling people, "Oh my God, there's an epidemic. People are making Nyquil chicken."
I feel like
they were actually pushing the story more than it really needed to be. They actually brought it out to the light.
Yeah, so there's several different things that come from something similar to that. Like one, Tide Pods.
Yeah.
I don't think that many people were eating Tide Pods.
But they put it on the news and people were like,
they blasted it and they're like, oh, maybe I should try it. Maybe I can fucking eat it. So
before they talked about it on the news, people were not making.
Well, I mean, so there was
chicken.
like the TikTok challenges and shit that people just do dumb shit for whatever. So maybe people were eating that many Tide Pods. We just didn't see it because we're not on that retarded side of TikTok.
Yeah.
Special side, sorry.
Yeah. The spectrum.
So there's that. And then there's this is how I feel about, and I'm not going to touch on the topic much, about racism. Yes, there's still racism. It's still alive and flourishing in some places.
More some than others.
I would say 80 to 90% of people are not racist. And the reason that racism stays as a big fucking issue is because people won't shut the fuck up about it. Like, if you just treat people, like, there's good and bad people of every fucking race, color, everything. There's great people, there's fucking decent people, terrible people, whatever. If you treat people like people and leave everything else the fuck alone and don't talk about it, I think it'll go away way faster than people think.
It'd be more sensible than to have special days and special months and special weeks.
I mean, like, teach your kids to, like, appreciate people and, like, treat people like people. Don't be a piece of shit. Again, it boils down to don't be a piece of shit.
Some people are good people, some people are assholes.
But keeping it in the forefront of so many news stations and so many this, so many that, of, oh, fucking this racist, and then you hear it and you're like, that's not what happened. That's from what they said and from what the video said happened. It doesn't seem that that's the way. Like, you can take everything out of context.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, leave it the fuck alone. Don't talk about it. And just treat people like people. And I think it'll go swimmingly.
We'll stop causing a divide.
Pretty fast. Yeah. It'll stop being massively divisive. So, yeah. And then actually hold cops accountable for being pieces of shit. Because don't be a piece of shit.
Hold all people.
I think that's going to be the name of this episode.
Don't be a piece of shit. Yes.
But I'm going to have to spell it some weird way so it's not fucking... So it won't get flagged on YouTube.
Yeah.
We'll think about that.
Yeah. Asterisks. Well,
I think even asterisks will get it flagged.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have to do something. Don't be a piece of poop.
Like, don't be a piece of spit.
Yeah.
I can do that. Or like whatever letter. No. Yeah, it don't have to be spit. Because like if you mistype it by one letter, none of those make sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, if you're having 10-year-olds working for you, you're also a piece of shit.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It's still, don't be a piece of shit.
And when you're not paying them.
Unless it's your own 10-year-old. And like you're giving them allowance, you're buying them shit, you're fucking helping, whatever. I mean, like a lot of that can help.
But you probably don't want to still, even if it's your 10-year-old, you probably don't want to keep them there at 2 a.m.
Oh, no. Yeah, obviously not.
They
They probably have school. They probably have other shit. And they need their sleep.
They're going to the school at McDonald's.
Kids need sleep.
Getting a
Yeah,
Ronald education.
They actually have something called McDonald's University.
Yeah, there's also Burger King University.
Why? That's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. Okay.
My first job was at Burger King.
My brother worked at Burger King for, I want to say it was like 3 weeks.
I didn't stay long.
Because he was doing the drive-thru, and I think he said that he heard, and he had a dream, and he heard the fucking like the drive-thru ding in the headset, and he went in the next day and told his manager, like, if that happens one more time, I quit, because you're not interrupting my sleep no more. So I think it was like shortly later, like again, he had a dream where he heard the drive-thru ding, and like he's taking orders in his sleep. He's like, yeah, fuck you, I quit. He's like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, I never actually took orders. I always was back making the food. And I remember Saturday mornings, every Saturday afternoon, I was in there working. And this woman working with me, she had this accent, and she'd always be calling for more Whoppers. More Whopper, please, more Whopper. And I'm like, they're coming. Because you had to put them in on one side.
It came out the little side cooked. Conveyor belt oven. Yeah.
And it would go over the fire.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, and if you said it wrong, they'd be mad. Like if you put it on the bun wrong, so the stripes were face down.
Oh, Jesus Christ, because that fucking matters.
Well, because they don't want people to think that it's a fried burger. They want you to know it's flame broiled. So you have to see the stripes on the top. You can taste
the flame broil.
But if you flip it over, you'll see that there's no stripes on the other side.
Yeah.
That's a no-no. I got talked to about that one. It's not like I did it on purpose.
Not letting you make me any burgers, Mike.
Yeah. No, you don't know where it's going to be. Well, you don't have a conveyor belt for me to put them on anyway.
No.
But and then
too much work.
Then some days I'd work on the fry side. And that was actually doing fry was a lot better than the burgers.
I mean, you just ding, fries are done. Ding, fries are done.
Yeah.
Would you like an apple pie with that?
No, the apple pies were out. That was because of me.
I wonder if that'll get flagged on YouTube. Just that short part.
I hope not.
We'll see.
But it's public domain. The actual tune is. But yeah. So I would make the chicken sandwiches, the fries, the onion rings.
Huh.
The onion rings still had onions in them back then. People don't believe me, but
I completely forgot that you talked about that.
Hey, buy some onion rings from there sometime and break them open and tell me what the fuck you see inside. And I'm not talking about the Western burger. I'm talking about an onion ring and a bag of onion rings, and you open it up and you break them. Like last time I had them, most of them were broken in half anyway, and there was no onion in them. When you pull an onion ring apart,
maybe they fry them and then break them open and pull the onions out to refry in breading later, so they can reuse them. So they're onion flavored rings.
Yeah.
But they save hella money.
But have you ever taken an onion?
$3 a day.
Yeah. Have you ever taken an onion ring though and broken it?
Yeah.
The onion itself stays intact. The breading comes off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did not happen. The breading just came apart and there was no ring on the inside of it.
But there was an air pocket.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
onion flavored air.
A heat dissipative. Is that a word?
Heat dissipated onion.
Yeah. Heat dissipating onion. Like
I don't want that.
When you cook it, the onion's just gone.
I like to have an onion ring with an onion in it. And I don't eat a lot of onions.
It depends. Sometimes I really like them, and sometimes it's like, I'm good for now.
On my porta subs, I get an onion. I get some onion.
Yeah, on sandwiches I like them. Burgers I like them. With different meats I like them. I think it just depends on if they're raw or not. Like I won't often get raw onions.
But like this last time I had a porta subs, See, when you order it on the app, like I do, I don't go in there and order it in person and sit there and wait for them to make it. I order it so it's ready when I'm on my way there to work to pick it up.
Yeah.
So, there's no way to put light onion. I want onion, but I don't want too much. So this last time I actually put no onion, and believe me, I really missed the onion. It was not, the sandwich was not as good.
I think the last time I've had a sandwich like that was when you and me went to Jersey Mike's.
Yeah. That was a pretty good sandwich.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
They fucked up a lot of stuff. They can never, every time I've been into that one, they get like, they'll start these 4 sandwiches for like this person, that person. And then like, you're like, okay, which one's my sandwich so I can tell you like what toppings I want on it. And they're like, oh, I finished yours. I'm like, I didn't tell you what I want on it yet.
Yeah.
How did you finish it? Like, oh, that's this guy's. I'm like, no, it's not. And then they give somebody else my sandwich. I'm like, what are you fucking doing?
See, normally there's a system to it, and normally they do well. But for some reason, like that location when I went there with you, before when I went there by myself, no issue. I go there with you.
It's my fault.
It's your fault. I go there with you, and they order, they took your order, asked you what kind of bread you want and everything, and then it goes on. I order my sandwich.
They don't ask what kind of bread.
No. What kind of bread you want? No, that was not asked.
Yeah, and then they just do whatever the fuck
they just did that
to
Parmesan
do
bread
the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't ask me any of the questions. I mean, I had to ask for a drink.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. That seems like an easy upsell. I almost never get them because I don't care. But that seems like an easy upsell to 80% of people want to drink and chips.
Yeah.
Probably, yes. They want to, if they're eating
I'll
here,
take the drink at least.
fucking
I always
get a
like to
drink.
have something to drink when I'm eating.
Yeah.
I think it helps it, especially Dr. Pepper. No, when I'm eating something at home and I have a Dr. Pepper with it, that's like the best Dr. Pepper I've ever had.
Doesn't it just make all your food taste like Dr. Pepper?
No.
Don't lie to me.
It does not. I was eating chicken last night and I had Dr. Pepper to wash it down and it was fantastic.
Why don't you just start cooking in Dr. Pepper then?
Oh, I've thought about it. I've actually seen the Dr. Pepper cookbook. And I've had Dr. Pepper
Hold on. Seen
barbecue sauce.
Seen don't have?
I don't have it, no.
Disappointed. Just knock it off the table.
It's on the internet. I don't have to buy it.
Well,
But Dr. Pepper cake. I made Dr. Pepper cake.
Do you have it bookmarked?
Of course.
Do you have a little icon on your home screen?
No. Haven't you ever had Dr. Pepper ribs?
No.
Yeah, they make Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce.
Well, I mean, it's just a shitload of sugar. It's gonna fucking cook off.
It's going to be delicious.
It's gonna cook off and crisp because it's fucking sugar.
Yeah. It's delicious. I recommend it. If you're out there and you're listening, get yourself some Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce. Or just add some Dr. Pepper to your barbecue sauce. Do yourself
like
a favor.
A lot of barbecue sauce is way too thin already.
Dr. Pepper cake. I actually saw one that was really cool. They made it look like a cooler full of bottles of Dr. Pepper. That's what the cake looked like.
But it was flavored like Dr. Pepper. Or the cake was just a Dr. Pepper bottle or Dr. Pepper cooler.
Well, there was Dr.
cake.
Pepper in it. So, you can put just about any liquid in a cake.
Well, I mean, there's videos on YouTube. Oh my God. I can't believe I didn't talk about this. There's videos on YouTube of people baking hair into a cake.
That's gross.
And not just like, oh, here's a little bit, like a fucking massive amount of hair.
Okay, now why? Why is this a thing?
I don't know. So here's backstory. My little sister, I didn't realize I was still filthy from working on the cars. My little sister was in England going to school, so I visited her, like 2 months ago, whatever.
Well, let me interrupt for one second. I have heard of hair pie, but not hair cake.
I don't even know what the fuck hair pie is.
Hair pie that's not actually a pie.
Oh.
That's something that people refer to as pie.
So
that has hair.
One of my little sister's roommates, flatmates, excuse me, because they have their own rooms, but it's like this floor has like 3 rooms and a shared kitchen.
And it's flat.
Yeah. Well, one would assume. And so one of the flatmates' boyfriends is over, and I'll leave his name out of it. It has a lot of vowels in it though, and it's really amusing. He thought it was bonding, kind of like connecting with me to like show me dumb fucking YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And I just humored him because there's nothing else to do while my little sister's packing stuff and doing whatever. So like we were talking bullshitting about whatever, and then he starts showing me this video of like some guy, like Cali Beast or something, not Mr. Beast, but like Cali Beast or somebody else.
Yeah.
Got like a bottle of Crystal Pepsi from like 1995.
Yeah, I told you.
It.
He's the one who had the Cheetos I told you about.
Yeah, chugged it and then threw up immediately. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, like, it's old shit. Like, I guarantee I wouldn't have thrown up if I drank that, but yeah, I'm not surprised.
Crystal Pepsi wasn't very good, but
no. So then he shows me this clip of they shave this one dude's head, like decently long hair.
Okay.
And they mix it into cake batter, like the fucking whole thing, and like a whole video of them making a cake.
Yeah.
Full of hair.
Disgusting.
And then eating it. I don't have a weak stomach at all.
But why would somebody want to do that?
And watching that video, like, got kind of close to making me gag.
See, now I understand people want to get views, but
they ate about half of the cake.
I wouldn't want to watch somebody eat that cake.
No.
That's not.
So I'm like, what the fuck? So apparently I upset him, offended him, whatever. My little sister told me later. And I'm like, did he say why? Like, I don't know if I need to be proud of it or not.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can think of, because I think they said it was the last day. It was this day. But he was showing me the video. And he's like, well, something about like, this is all YouTube is now. And I'm like, yeah, well, because people watch it. And like gestured at him.
Yeah.
And like, definitely a condescending voice of people watch it.
Yeah, people, yeah.
And I'm like, so that's what I've had to settle on of that's what pissed him off. Or that's what offended him, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So, and I guess, so, because right after I came back and I talked about like the trip and everything, because they had both asked, the flatmate and the boyfriend asked like what I thought of England, and they're like, well, just listen to the podcast. So I don't know if they still listen. If that's what offended you, let me know. If not, you should tell me what offended you, because I'm pretty curious at what point, because like I don't purposefully try to hurt people's feelings.
No.
Often. Like there's sometimes that like I feel like it needs to happen, but that's a semi-rare occasion. But for jokes and whatever else, look at the name, some offense intended.
Yeah.
So,
but
I'm curious.
But there was an episode of Family Guy where Meg had a crush on Brian.
Yeah.
And she made a pie.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's where you're going with that.
Well, actually, I wasn't, but I remembered it.
Okay.
But no, she put her hair in his pie.
How does it feel with a piece of me inside of you, Brian? Brian, you're eating hair.
Then he gave some to Stewie.
Yeah.
That was funny. But that she had him taped to a chair in it at one point too.
Yeah. And
that's actually from a movie. There was a movie years ago that had Sandra Bernhardt and Jerry Lewis. And yeah, she was a big fan of somebody. She tied him to a chair with tape, a whole lot of tape, kind of like in that. It was all from that. It's like Kings of Comic.
Like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis? Or,
yeah, that Jerry Lewis,
okay.
yeah.
Well, because then there's like Jerry Lee Lewis. Like, who the fuck is that? But it's not the same person? I don't know who the fuck it is.
Completely different. He did the song Great Balls of Fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he also married his 13-year-old cousin.
What?
Which part didn't you hear?
You said 13-year-old cousin?
Yes.
Is he a McDonald's franchise owner?
No, but yeah, that's one of the more controversial things about Jerry Lee Lewis when he was
Not that it makes it any better. Was it first, second, third, fourth cousin?
I might have been second or third. I can't remember.
Because like it's still 13-year-old. He married. How old was he?
He was already a star by the time he did, so he had to be at least in his 20s, I guess.
Because like I mean, even if you're 14, you can't. It's where do we live? We don't live in the 1700s anymore.
Well, this wasn't, recent. This was a long time ago. But
this wasn't in the 1700s.
No, it wasn't that either.
I mean, because like Little House on the Prairie, I guess they were getting married at what?
It was
like 14,
70s,
15?
60s, 70s, somewhere around then.
That's not Little House on the Prairie times.
No, it's not.
Because that was fucking like late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah.
Like one-room schoolhouse shit.
Yeah. But even Laura Ingalls didn't marry her cousin.
No, but a lot of people way back then were getting married at like 14,
Yeah.
15.
Because their life expectancy was short.
Middle age was like 22.
So you're dying at old age at 30 back then.
Yeah.
That's one thing I always find interesting. Is like you watch Game of Thrones or something, and you'll see some of these people on and they're old. How
the actors look like they're 90, and you're like, bro, they're probably 45.
Like, this person shouldn't still be alive. This person should...
Yeah.
Because Game of Thrones, that time period, they didn't have a whole lot of what you call medical science.
Well, no, but I also don't think it was in our universe, Mike.
No, but I'm just using that as an example. Like Old West shows, you'll see the old guy.
Because the Maesters knew stuff. I mean, kind of.
Yeah, but I mean, like a Western, they're gonna have some old grizzled guy in it.
Yeah.
He probably drinks a lot too.
Alcohol kills germs, Mike.
Perfect. So that's it. That's what keeps people alive. Damn it.
They've interviewed several people that are like,
I need more whiskey.
90 something, 100 something. They're like, what's your secret? And this one lady was like, I drink almost every day. I eat bacon every morning for breakfast. I do this, like everything that's like you shouldn't do. She's just been doing for fucking 40 something years.
I want to hear somebody who's on there like 90 who's like, I watch porn all the time. That's how I'm still alive. I just fucking watch porn.
Just serotonin dumps nonstop.
I've got the platinum subscription to YouPorn. That's what I want to hear him say. If there's I don't even know if there's a platinum one, but I'm just saying. I just want to hear that.
Sure, Mike. Well, now that we know which subscription you have, this would be a perfect spot for ads if anybody would sponsor the show.
Yes. I could do a written ad for YouPorn.
No.
Mustang Ranch?
Jesus Christ. You're grounded from picking ads.
Simple Save?
Jesus.
Save Life Repair? Save Life Replace? We could do their ads.
I think yesterday we were talking about pyramids.
Yes.
And like the whole everything behind that. So, and we can dive back into that because we still have lots of room left on this episode.
Yeah. So,
one of the favorite things that I've read about and that I think about probably too often is it was either World War II. There was a couple pilots that got stranded on some random island, or like that they had no idea where they were. They thought it was an island, and there was a massive cliff. So they're up on top of this cliff where they crashed their plane. They're looking down, and they see 20 to 30 tribesmen of who knows where, all surrounding like this massive rock object, something, and they all have drums that are like 6 foot tall, like 1.5 feet, 2 foot around, and they have them strapped so that the open part of the drum is facing the big rock that's in the middle of the circle. And then they all start beating the drums in unison, and then they start speeding up the beat, and then the rock starts lifting. Yeah. Because of like the movement of air and frequencies and this and that. Like,
yeah, we've talked about this a little bit on here.
Yeah. So like shit like that, like I think that we're thinking about like how did they build the pyramids? How did they this? How did they this? I think we're taking it way too fucking seriously, way too literally, way too scientifically of the new age science, air quotes, because stuff like that you don't have to have a fucking like 3,000 volt fucking like holy shit machine that does this, that you don't have to have all of that.
Yeah.
Because frequencies make stuff move. Frequencies affect people differently. Frequencies affect different stuff differently.
Yeah, you got the brown note. You've got
if you can figure out like how to do certain things, you didn't have to be technologically advanced, air quotes again, in order to have dope fucking technology, technically, that can do whatever you want.
Think about this. Think about what they could do with that. Let's say if they found those pilots and they wanted to, I don't know, execute them. They could put them in there in the middle of that, and they could hit those drums at them and use those frequencies to.
Would it lift them up or would it crush them?
I was going to say it could crush them. I mean, because that pressure on a person is going to be different from it as compared to that big rock.
Maybe.
Or even if you lifted them up, it could drop them down again. So
yeah, there's that. And then like if you go back to roughly the same time period of the whole thing behind like how people used to communicate back in the day was like you'd have massive pillars of salt, like obelisks made out of salt.
Yeah.
And only certain priests could go communicate with it. And like the theory, conspiracy, whatever you want to call it, behind it was that spirits would live in the salt and the priest would talk to like the salt column. And then the spirit would leave this one and fly all the way over to 8 cities over, wherever the fuck you're trying to portray the message to. And I don't know if it would light up, it would do something. There would be a priest on the other side that would hear the message. I'm like, so, like, salt conducts electricity.
yeah. So maybe they had some kind of communication.
Maybe they had some sort of fucking communication device based around these salt columns.
But that now it makes me think that I waste salt every time I put it on fries.
I mean, some fries don't need more fucking salt, bro.
No.
Like, have you eaten at Five Guys recently?
I was just going to say Five Guys.
Jesus, fuck me, Christ. Dude, stop it.
I could eat a bowl of salt and have less salt than that is.
Yes. I could chug a salt shaker and eat a potato raw and still be happier than eating a bag of Five Guys fries.
I had it one day and it was so much salt. But I also complained and they sent me a gift card.
Wild fucking amount of salt.
A $25 gift card.
The last time I had Five Guys was in England.
Yeah.
Before that, it was like 6 years ago that I had it in Vegas, and it was disappointing as fuck. Like, I gotta say that.
I've had it here.
The one in England's pretty fucking good.
I had it here. I had it over by Kitski in Reno.
I might have to try that.
I was like, I'm gonna give it a try again. I hadn't had it since Vegas, and I gave it a try. Still expensive, but then there was so much. When I got home, I went to eat the fries, and I was like,
yeah,
I can't eat this much salt.
You gotta go get some fries from McDonald's, hold the salt, and just like shake them together. Maybe that'll do it.
I was mad though. I complained, and like I said, they sent me a gift card, $25 gift card.
That's enough for one meal.
Yeah. And I did get a milkshake with it too.
Yeah.
Something with banana.
Do they have paper straws here in the milkshakes?
Some places do.
Because in London, the Five Guys gave you a paper straw for their milkshake.
That's just...
You could get a third of the way through it before it's like, I'm just sucking on a fucking dictionary here. What are you doing?
Well, that's why you have to get more than one straw. So then when it gets all shitty, you throw it away and you get in.
That's why they sell a metal straw at the cashier. At the cash register, they had metal straws that you could buy. I'm like, why am I going to get a metal straw? Just give me a regular fucking straw.
They wouldn't let you take it on the plane.
That's the perfect tracheotomy straw.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, yeah, we were talking about tracheotomies at work this week. We were talking about, I don't call 911.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because somebody showed me a picture. His name's Ray. I don't care.
Yeah.
He showed me a picture of this doormat that was like, I don't remember what it said, but it was basically like, if you come here and I don't want you, I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah.
Something similar. It wasn't those words. And he's like, yeah, it's funny, right? Like, what I'm thinking about. And I'm like, no, don't get that.
Don't get that.
He's like, why? I'm like, your lawyer will thank you if you don't have that.
Yeah.
Like, if you end up having to shoot someone.
You look like you want to shoot the person.
If you have a doormat that says that, if you have the sign that says, like, I don't call 911, it has, like, the Colt logo, it's, like, all the different shit like that, it makes it look like you were fucking waiting for this to happen.
You're wanting
this to happen. And you didn't look for any other option to do because you could fucking shoot someone. Yeah. That's what all of these fucking signs and everything mean to courts.
Yeah. And if you think a district attorney is not going to try to go that route, think again. They will definitely go that route.
Yeah, like as much as I love the humor behind it, it's fucking great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Just like, and we went to this next. If you have a fucking baseball bat,
yes,
buy a glove and a ball.
Yeah, have them with it.
Have them near it. It doesn't have to be with it. But
Well, but I mean, if
it.
it's in your car, have them.
Yeah, like if it's in your trunk, have everything in your trunk. A ball, a glove, and a bat. Then you just like baseball and you play every now and then. And
Yeah.
it's in your trunk. So
Yeah, but in
a
case
lot
you
of
get a pickup
things,
game.
a lot of things with weapons are intent based. So like if you have a baseball bat in your closet with a glove and a ball, it's a baseball bat. If you have a baseball bat hidden behind your door, that's a weapon.
Yeah.
If you have a kitchen knife in your kitchen, that's a knife. Who cares? If you have a kitchen knife on your nightstand, that's a weapon. So
No, but what if I have a knife on my nightstand with a thing of salami?
we'd have more concerns than just if it's a weapon or
I'm
not.
just using this as an example. I don't have salami.
I don't believe you.
I haven't had.
It's not salami. It's summer sausage.
I can't remember the last time I had either of
Pepperidge
those.
Farm remembers. Yeah. No, so like it's all intent based of like what happens, where it happens, how it happens, as well as like the state laws of like stand your ground, castle law, like whatever the fuck has to do with that.
Yeah.
Because if there's most states are you have to do you can't use deadly force. Like you can use equal or lesser force.
It's usually
Or you have to run away from the situation.
unless
like
your life
this,
is unless you have no option and it was your life or theirs.
Yeah. And it's still, don't shoot people in the back. That's fucking, I think, pretty fucking intelligent way to think.
Of course, so if there's adrenaline going and you initially start to shoot them in the front and they turn around and run.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I've seen any cases where it was, you've shot both sides. I've only seen cases where it's like, they were running out of the store because like they saw you pull the gun and they still fucking, like the smoke shop guy in Vegas that still fucking shot the dude like 5 times in the back.
Yeah. But there's also some states, like this state is not a stand your ground state. In Florida it is.
Nevada's a weird stand your ground state. It kind of is.
But in Florida, like I know about a story where this guy was trying to carjack somebody in a gas station parking lot. You know, the guy was pumping gas.
Yeah.
And his friend came up behind him and he put a bullet in the head of the guy who had the bullet on his friend. He just walked right up.
Say that again? What?
The guy had a gun on.
Okay, so there's 3 people.
There's 3 people. There's a
guy pumping gas.
The guy comes up to him and says, "Give me your keys." Holds his gun to him.
Okay.
Then the third person walks up.
And just pops the guy with a gun.
Done.
Okay.
So he never saw it coming.
Huh.
One minute he's there, he's thinking he's getting a new car. Next he's
getting a new
getting a hole in his head. Get a new
Here's
piercing.
your brand new afterlife.
Here's your new piercing.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah. And the person who shot him, he didn't get prosecuted or anything.
But yeah, Nevada has a couple of weird laws in regards to all that shit. Like Texas is like an amazing castle law state. Florida, I know, has stand your ground. Arizona, I think, is pretty good.
Arizona, I saw that somebody was testing their open carry laws. And he goes, I don't know what fast food restaurant it is, but he goes into this fast food restaurant and he's got an AR-15 just strapped to his chest. And he walks in, he orders his food, he walks over, sits on the table. He's eating it, got the AR on his chest the whole time.
I mean, you can do that here too.
But yeah, but in some places, like I saw a thing where somebody had an AR pistol. And they called the police, and that was in Vegas too.
Oh, people are dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nevada, you're allowed to open carry.
But nobody batted an eye in Arizona when he was walking in.
No, like Arizona is fairly Wild West. Arizona's constitutional carry, so as long as you have a state ID,
an
Arizona state ID, and you're legally allowed to own a firearm, you can conceal or open. Like it doesn't matter.
Nebraska just became a constitutional carry state recently.
Really?
Yeah, I just saw it on YouTube, and I read an article about it too.
Huh. I think there's more than half of the states now.
It's at least half the states
30.
are. It's like half the states are.
I think it's like 30 or 32.
I think it was like
are.
25, but I'm not sure.
That would be half.
The numbers are growing. Yeah. I know, that's what I'm saying. I think it is 30. I think it's 25.
I think it's around 30.
All right, we'll have to look it up after we get off. But yeah, the numbers are growing. There's more and more
if
states.
If you're gonna carry, read the rules.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty fucking. Common sense isn't common.
It doesn't exist.
It's fairly rare sense to figure out, like, if I'm going to drive through California to go to Oregon to get a car, which I've done before.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to take a gun with me, which I've done before. Know what you can take, know how to keep it, know how to whatever. So, like, right before I got to Cali state line, like, it's a pistol. Like, almost anything has to be 10 rounds or less. So I took my 1911.
Yeah.
Right as we get to the Cali border, you can't have a loaded gun in your car in Cali. So as we get to Cali, drop the mag, pull the one out of the chamber, and then have them separate.
Yeah.
Get to Oregon, which I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure you can have it back together kind of normal. And then get to Cali again on the way back, same thing. As soon as I get to the Nevada border, load it and rack it. Know where you're at, because that can fuck you all kinds of sideways.
See, when I go to California, I like to just have an RPG because that's only one round. It doesn't have a magazine.
I have no affiliations with this man.
I've always said, you know, we need to be safer. We all need to have Desert Eagles because they only carry 7 rounds, so they're safer.
Safer?
That came out wrong. But you get where I'm going.
At least I keep the safety on it.
Or, you know, a 500 Smith & Wesson, you know? That's only 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Much safer.
Or oh my God.
Not safer.
We could have a whole episode on what Ray said about guns.
Yeah. He showed me a picture of a gun recently.
Let's not, though.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah.
But about the I don't call 911 thing. It's a good practice because, like, you know, somebody has a heart attack, you shoot them. You know, somebody needs a tracheotomy, a 22 right in the throat. Then you put a straw in there.
I don't condone these actions.
I'm not actually recommending these ideas. I
not legal advice.
Not legal advice and not medical advice. I'm not condoning this.
Not a doctor. Shh.
I do not play one on TV either.
Back to pyramids. So the curious thing about pyramids also, and this kind of goes back to, like, even like the different lore, or, like, I think lore has to do with it more, like the different cultural background lore of, like, Chinese have dragons. Like the Viking stuff sometimes has to do with dragons. Like, there's, like, in every different culture that couldn't communicate the way that we do now, that we know of, like I said, at some point has something similar to a mythological creature like a dragon in their lore. How did they all come up with that if they can't talk to each other? And in a similar sense, how many of these pyramids that are almost exactly the fucking same? Almost like, so the Egyptian pyramids are the same as a couple other sets that I think are, like,
and they're all over
Bermuda or whatever.
There's some all over the world.
And then the ones that are in, like, Southern America are a slightly different type of pyramid.
Yeah.
But there's several of those, like, all over the world too.
But it's not like they saw pictures of the others. So
No,
they communicate in some way.
So, but
they get the central point of it being.
But did they?
I'm just saying. But if they get the central point of it being a pyramid, and they communicated with the salt, like you said,
yeah,
it wouldn't be identical because you can't.
Exactly.
You can.
But they're identical.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, South America is not identical to Egypt.
No. But there's a lot that are identical to the ones in South America.
Yeah.
So, like, there's the two different types, like the Mayan Aztec type, and then the Egyptian type.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other fucking types.
Well, the thing that's cool about the Egyptian ones is that the rocks that they made them with, they're not from that area. They had to move those from a long ways away.
Yeah, and people are fucking, oh my God, how did they do that with wheels? Or
and the thing about those rocks is, even with wheels, they're heavy. But
Egypt has sand.
Yeah, but also those rocks. I don't know about you, but you don't walk out and you see just rocks formed like that. They don't just come cube like that. You can turn into you have to form them.
No, it's a setting on the fridge door. You have to, like, cube crushed.
Yeah. I mean, you have to set something up. You have to make them into that form to be able to put them into that.
Yeah.
And the rock that they had to start with had to be bigger than what they end up with.
Which are fairly fucking huge anyway, which goes back to the joke that was in England of, this is why they don't have mountains, because they had so many castles and fucking rock walls and this and that
Yeah, look, they had Stonehenge, and look what that did to their mountains. It's gone because they made Stonehenge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or the Easter Island.
Easter Island, I was just going to get to that next.
Yeah. But yeah, like all kinds of this different stuff of like, they either had to have a way to communicate, or there was this big, like, kind of group mentality. Not mentality. Of like, I think I've talked about this before. Like group consciousness. That's the word.
Yeah.
Of, they've done studies where you pull like 100 random people in and you give them like a 50 question test of random information. Like some people are going to know, some people aren't. But the longer that they do the test, the more people get the right answers. Like if, say they number the seats 1 to 100 of the people taking the test.
Yeah.
Like if number 4 got 100% the first time, that number 4 chair is more likely to get a higher percentage the entire time because of like the localization of group consciousness, the theory of it, whatever.
Yeah.
Of the people in this area are already thinking of the answers or already thought of the answer and know it.
Yeah.
The same thing of like, you haven't thought about somebody in weeks, months, years. You're like, oh, I'm thinking about this person. And then they call you.
Yeah. Or you see them randomly.
Yeah. Like which one happens first? That you thought about them or that they picked up the phone? I think it's the same time thing. Because it's never like, and then ring. It's like, oh, I haven't talked to so-and-so in a while.
Yeah.
And give it like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. You either call them or they call you. And if they call you, I think that's a shared thought that happens back and forth. Like they have the same thought that you do of, oh, I haven't talked to so-and-so. And they're thinking, I haven't talked to this person.
Or it could be that you think of them and it causes them to have the
exactly
consciousness. Not
they're
that
like,
I'm thinking it at the same time, but.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, well, yeah, I haven't talked to so-and-so. I'm going to call him right now.
Yeah.
Because it happens way too often to be something like coincidence. There's no fucking chance.
There's been so many times where I've actually thought, well, I haven't seen this person in a long time, and next thing you know, I'm walking to work and someplace else, and there they are.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens.
It's psychic.
I mean, no.
But I was actually thinking, recently, because you know my thoughts on common sense.
I prefer common dollars.
Yeah, me too. But common sense. Now think about this: if there actually was common sense, it's a good thing that some people wouldn't have it because that's how you innovate. Because if you look at things, people are doing something, they'll do the same thing the same way over and over and over again, and they call that common sense. And then somebody else comes along and says, you know what? Maybe we don't do that anymore. Maybe we do it like this.
Is this about me using a trailer hitch as a hammer?
No, but see? But that works. I'm just saying, that's how you get innovation, is you try new things.
Yeah.
Just because you've always done it like this doesn't mean it's right. Now you've always done it like this. Now let's try to do it right. Let's try to do it a better way.
Yeah, but a lot of people are just stuck and stupid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
stuck and stupid and stuck on stupid.
Yes.
That's both of those.
Yeah, the stupid switch is just not
sure.
turning off.
At all.
Yeah, but I've worked at places where people are like, we've always done it this way. And I'm like, well, then.
Yeah, then you need to change it.
Yeah.
How about this?
Oh.
Sometimes it takes so much to
So you put the
change
coffee
shit.
grounds in the pot. How about we try to put it in the filter this time?
Yeah.
Let's try something different.
Yeah.
And then you have better coffee.
But then you don't have a French press.
I do have a French press at home.
I don't understand. Like, how long do you leave it in there? Like, do you press all of it or just how much you want to fucking drink right now? Like, there's no instructions that come with a French press other than put the coffee grounds and water in it and wait.
Yeah, just watch YouTube, see what they do.
Why? There should be a fucking instruction manual.
Yeah, but if I brought that thing to work and I was making good coffee, you'd probably want to drink it instead of drinking the shit that's there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to fuck up coffee.
Yeah.
It's hard to fuck up coffee the same way every time. They fuck up coffee the same way every time.
That's consistency.
Yeah. Which it takes skill at that point. They're doing it on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
You can't accidentally fuck up coffee the same way every day.
Well, the thing about coffee is what you're using to clean it, to make it with, you have to clean it. You have to have a clean coffee pot. You have to, or carafe, whatever you're putting it in, it has to be clean. The machine that makes the coffee, you got to clean it from time to time.
Yeah, even though it's just water buildup, like descaling a coffee pot will make a night and fucking day difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
Quick tip: if you don't know that, clean your fucking coffee pot.
And then try a cup.
Pour. I think it's 4 cups of white vinegar.
Yeah.
Where the water goes. Don't put a coffee filter or coffee in it.
Run it through.
And then, depending on the color of that, do it again.
Yeah.
And then do like 3 full carafes of water to wash the vinegar out.
Yeah, you definitely want to wash the vinegar out. Don't go straight to making coffee after the vinegar, because
unless you like vinegar, then go ahead.
Yeah.
All these fucking salt and vinegar chip fucking fanatics that are just should be locked up. Fucking sociopathic chip, I swear to God. That is the worst fucking flavor of chip.
No, it is not.
I would prefer a cilantro fucking chip before salt and vinegar.
I would, if there was a bag of salt and vinegar chips
throw
here.
Them right out the fucking window.
I would catch them. I would eat them after the show.
I don't know if we can keep doing this anymore.
I would not. I would not eat them on the show, because I do not eat chips on.
I thought you were gonna say I do not eat. I'm like, well, made it pretty far for not eating.
But that reminds me. Speaking of the hair cake, I'll be more than happy to eat a good cake on here on film, red velvet, carrot cake, something like that, but no hair in it. But nobody's gonna want to watch me eat just good cake.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have an issue eating most things. I definitely would not eat that.
No.
I'm like, there's a price attached for sure.
But that reminds me. Speaking of doing things on the show, we do have episode 52 coming up.
Yeah.
So what?
From people hearing, this will be next week.
Yes. So what special things should we do to celebrate a full year of episodes?
We might have to think about it. Like,
this would be a good opportunity for people to make comments and let us know.
That'll already be too late, because we'll be recording 52 when this one releases.
Yeah, that's true.
We did talk about it yesterday.
Yeah,
last yesterday. So, but yeah, we'll figure something out. I'll get like a fucking banner. Or the fucking cake with a 1 on it.
But no hair in the cake.
Not much hair in the cake. Yeah, no hair in the cake.
We could have frosting that looks like hair.
No, we cannot.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't think of...
I'll have some Pop Rocks.
I'm sure we can figure out something.
Yeah.
Some to do that'll be fucking interesting, and we'll figure out a couple of specific topics, like fucking our favorite birthday parties, or like what fucking different shit of like us growing up birthday, since it's a year.
Yeah, I was some birthday parties I threw for myself. I was pretty drunk at those.
I've definitely had those.
Yeah. Jaeger.
I haven't had Jaeger in so long.
Lots and lots of Jaeger.
I saw at Savers in Reno, they have the Jaeger triple bottle cooler.
I actually was looking at buying one of those.
$250 for it.
I was actually looking at buying one of the ones with the tap with the bottles on the top.
It's that one. They're like $700 on eBay. There's one at Savers for $250 if you want it.
Yeah, I don't need it anymore. I used to want it really bad.
Just trying to help.
I appreciate it. But the ones that they sell for $250 aren't the same ones as the one in the bar.
No. It's the same one at the bar.
Oh, all right.
It's at Savers, which is a thrift store, and they want $250.
There was one bar I used to go to. They used to clean the vent on the back, they had a filter on the back.
It's a good thing we're almost done, because somebody can't remember that we're doing the podcast, even though I texted him. And he was like, okay, thanks.
But it was, I'm not exaggerating when I say it was the coldest Jaeger in town. Coldest Jaeger in Henderson.
I mean, Jaeger I can appreciate being cold. Like, that's one of the favorite things that I liked about the beer in England and Ireland.
It damn near had ice in it.
Yeah. Like, that's one of the things I liked the most about beer in England and Ireland, though, is, like, it was not ice cold.
Yeah.
Like, it was cool. It was refreshing, but it wasn't, like, fucking hurt cold. That's how beer should be.
This bartender that used to serve us, one of the bartenders, he had a bit of OCD. We used to screw with him and change his napkin stacks in front of us so they weren't all level. He used to irritate him.
Have you seen how they do the star napkin stack?
Yeah. Yeah.
You just put the glass on it and just twist it.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
But so this guy, yeah, actually, what I did is I put one napkin, I turn the next one, and then I turn the. It takes a long time.
If you're paid hourly.
But we'd order our beers, and then he'd come by and he'd be like, ready for a shot. We'd say, yeah, we'll take a shot. He'll pour us shots, and then he'd be like, hold on a second. He'd pull his flask off his belt buckle, pour a little in a coffee cup, and drink with us.
Why would he pour it in a coffee cup?
Because he was the bartender. You don't want people walking in and seeing your. If it's in a
Depending
coffee
on
cup,
what
it
bar
could be
is.
coffee. So he.
Well, yeah, depending on what bar it is. I mean, like some.
But
We
he
talked about that before. Some allow it,
his
some
his
don't.
his belt buckle was a flask, and yeah, he'd fill his flask on the Jaeger machine.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he did many shots with us when we'd go there.
Huh.
We did what we call Jaeger Fest.
What you call Jaegerfest.
Yeah, that's what we called it. We'd go to the bar on a Saturday night and call it Jaeger Fest. We'd drink a whole lot of Jaeger and a whole lot of beer.
Oh.
The first times we started
I was
doing it.
expecting a lot more than just like, oh, we're drinking Jaeger.
Well, I think one of the waitresses was hot and she had Jaeger some kind of Jaeger clothes on, so that made us celebrate Jaeger.
I mean, I guess.
But actually, the first couple times we did it, I was drinking Rumplemintz and not even drinking Jaeger, but we still call it Jaeger Fest.
I think I've only had Rumplemintz once.
I've had it multiple times. I remember one of the times that we were there. Two of the people that were with us for Jaegerfest, they left the bar. And then there was just two of us standing there. So while they were gone, we did a couple shots, and then the people come back and ordered another round of shots. They're like,
Nice.
you two did shots without us, didn't you? Yeah. And then there was people, they always wanted to do shots, and they're always like, I want a white gummy bear. Let's all do white gummy bears. I mean, how about you all do fucking white gummy bears, and I'll just do a Jaeger.
Yeah.
First of all, the Jaeger's going to be easier to pour.
Or like the one person that wants a green tea shot. Like, how about everybody does it so I can just make a lot of it? Or
Yeah.
none of you do it.
Well, it's like mine, all you do is pour it into a glass and hand it to me.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there waiting for everybody else to wait for their fucking white gummy bears. I have a fucking bag of gummy bears in my car. You want me to go get them? You can all fucking throw a gummy bear in your drink.
I don't
Or a
think that's how
Scooby
that
snack.
works.
People that have Scooby snacks. That's got whipped cream. Do you know how much of a pain in the ass that is to fucking make?
Whipped cream?
No. Just a drink with whipped cream. It's a shot. It's supposed to be alcohol.
I didn't know they had a Scooby snack shot.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the little fucking fruit snacks
no, it's an actual shot.
that taste like dog food.
No. No, it's just called a Scooby snack.
That's dumb.
There's also a shot called an oatmeal cookie.
That might be good.
And it does taste like an oatmeal cookie. And
that-
surprisingly, it has Goldschlager in the ingredients.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I haven't had Goldschlager in a really long time.
Oh, let's go get some.
No.
I'm kidding.
Oh,
It's only 107 proof.
we forgot to say at the beginning to like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
At the
Keep
beginning.
listening.
Like, subscribe, share. Let us know to like your favorite conspiracy theories or fucking like what bothers you the most, like people being pieces of shit, stuff like that.
Yeah. And if you have a conspiracy theory you'd like to throw out there for see if it'll catch on,
Yeah,
let us know.
that'll be Mike's department. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Some Offense Intended. YouTube, just type in Some Offense Intended, and I'm sure you'll see it.